Hey, Marcus watching MTC Media with your Georgetown Creighton pregame. Georgetown comes into the Big East opener coming off a 75-71 win over Syracuse. The Hoyas improved to 8-2, but we all know Creighton isn't Syracuse. The Blue Jays are led by Ryan Kalkbrenner and senior sharpshooter Stephen Ashworth. Ashworth shoots 41% from the field, but 38.6% from the three-point line. He is certainly a threat out there. Now, Creighton is 7-4. They have been beatable. Their losses have come to Purdue, San Diego State, Nebraska, and Alabama. And you go and sit around and look and say, well, those aren't bad losses. And in a sense, they're not. The San Diego State loss, I think, kind of jumped out to me because that was an 18-point loss. And then, of course, the Nebraska loss. But Creighton does have a win. They have a big win, rather. They have a big win over Kansas this season. So they've been a little inconsistent, probably more inconsistent than what they usually are under Greg McDermott. So this is the Big East opener. It's going to be a big test for Georgetown, no doubt about it. Up next, we're going to take a look at some interviews from Media Day that took place on Monday afternoon. This is Mark Washington, MTC Media. We will be right back. What has jumped out to you as you move on to Creighton? Their actions, how they weak side, strong side, they have the big. How do you attack that? Have you seen a team that kind of runs similar things already this season to them? What's your preparation look like?
Well, I would say a little bit with West Virginia, as he's a disciple of McDermott. Not so much with Kalkbrenner and Ashworth. I don't think they're talked about a lot as one of the better 1-2 combinations in college basketball. Both are very experienced, very skilled, highly efficient. So, we have our hands full trying to deal with that. And then their pace. They play with incredible pace. I've coached against McDermott for a long time. I think we have a feel programmatically of what each of us want to do. So, I'm hoping to see our team continue to grow and improve.
And what does McDermott do that has made him as successful as he has been in his run at Creighton?
Well, I would say his superpower is finding people that can play for him. Like, he and his staff have done an incredible job recruiting and retaining the fit for the way he sees the game, the way he wants to play the game, and I think that's been the really important recipe to the success of their program, and they play in one of the better home court advantages in the country.
Getting back to Saturday, did you feel like the game started off that you were 2-3-point centric at that very beginning? That you took maybe 2-3 and did not get downhill as much as you would have liked?
I thought, again, early on you want to see if you're going to make shots, right? And those I still thought those were the best team shots, right? We were open. You give your kids confidence to make them. They didn't fall, but they fell when we needed them to. Like I always say, you don't always get what you want. Get what you want when you need it. And we needed those threes late that Jaden was able to make. Right, Malik made a big one late, and they were able to execute. So I thought we took the right team shot. As long as we take the right team shot, I can't complain as a coach.
And for Fielder and Sorber, it was obvious that Lampkin was trying to bully them and be very, very physical. How did you think that they stood up to that? Did you think that they stood up and had that proper level of defiance towards Lampkin's play?
At the end of the day, it was about the team win, and I thought I saw guys grow up. Lampkin is probably 3 to 5 years older, maybe a little bit more. So it was a growing up standpoint for both, and more Thomas because Fielder played in games of that magnitude against bigger guys last year. But it was more how we get to the finish line, right? Again, he had his way a little bit in the interior. At the end of the day, I was more concerned about the win.
25 bench minutes. Do you think eventually that you need more bench minutes as you go through the Big East season?
Probably a little bit more. We had to deal with foul trouble, and we had to deal with a couple of guys injured. But again, man, in today's climate, if you ask me and I was a player at this level, I'd never want to come out the damn game. I'm going to make sure I'm in tip-top shape. I'm in tip-top shape to play 40 minutes a game. May need a little bit more. I might use less. You never know. Whatever the game decides is what I'm going to do. I'm trying to win. right? And we can rest them on the day off. I ain't worried about that. We got timeouts. Take your time coming out the huddles. There's a way that you can steal minutes within the game to get rest.
Arnold.
Do you have a timetable for Kayvon?
We don't. We'll meet with the doctors again today. He won't be in practice today. But the doctors will meet with me this afternoon.
Speaking of that, why don't we start there? How did it feel to get that honor today?
What did I get? I'm sorry.
You're Big East Player of the Week.
Oh,
I want to be clear. That's in a text message. He knows that.
it felt good. Just credit to my teammates, credit to my coaches. I had it going and down me up. So we played a good defensive game. I feel like all around we fought through adversity. I feel like it was an overall good game. And we got the job done.
As players, what was the difference going down that stretch on Saturday as opposed to going down the stretch against West Virginia?
I feel like we executed late in the game. We got down late in the game and we executed. We didn't try to get it all back in one play. I feel like against West Virginia, we took some bad shots down the stretch. We had some bad possessions, one pass, one shot. I feel like against Syracuse, we learned from that. We fought through adversity and we executed down the stretch.
And when you watch the film and getting prepped for Creighton, what is the thing that most jumps off of that film about what they do well?
They do a lot well. Of course, they have a big guy down low. They have a lot of great shooters. They run a lot of good offense. They do a lot well. They do a good job of not fouling on defense. So there's a lot of stuff we got to get prepared for, but they also have to scout us as well.
Hey, Thomas, what was it like playing against someone who tried to be as physical with you as Lampkin was trying to be physical with you?
I didn't really get fazed by that at all. My team is just telling me just to keep my head in the game, just play my game, just stay focused.
And I'm starting to notice the confidence in you because when players are chirping, I'm seeing you chirp back a bit that you're not going to back down to them. Just how have you started gaining confidence over these first set of games in your game, knowing that you belong?
I mean, I've been doing this, I've been playing my own game since I was little. So and also my teammates give me the confidence to just keep playing my own game. Just get yourself out there, be the same kid you always been, always keep a smile on your face, and that's what I've just been doing.
And when they get on a roll, or if they get on a roll, how important is it for you guys to be patient on offense and not get caught up into shooting fast after maybe they've scored 5 or 6 in a row?
Well, basketball is a game of runs, so when the team goes on a run, we can't lose our mind and try to get it all back in one possession. We got to get a good shot up in our next couple possessions, and so that's what I try to remind our team as we face teams that go on runs against us. It's a game of runs, and our runs coming next, so let's stay patient on and execute.
And just through the first 10 games, what is something you felt like that you have gotten so much better at as opposed to last year, since your role is so different here than it was your previous stop?
I feel like I've gotten better with just knowing my teammates, knowing what type of player they are, and knowing what they need from me in order for us to be successful. That was something I was trying to figure out early in the season with the role change, so I kind of figured out what my team needs from me.
Welcome back to Georgetown pregame. As they face Creighton, I'm going to give you the keys. And of course, the keys are going to start with, and this is not going to be alarming, it's going to start with containing Kalkbrenner. Everything starts with him. Whether he is running the floor in transition, he's one of the, if not the best floor running big man in transition, or running one of those great actions where McDermott likes to clear out that backside for him. He's also a plus passer out of double teams, and he's a swing guy. Now, occasionally he'll take that shot, but he's a swing guy. He is a strong decision maker. So when you put all that together with his experience and his size, everything starts with containing him. You're not going to stop him, but containing him and limiting his impact on the game and limiting his impact on making the players around him better. Second key is live ball turnovers. Creighton does a great job from going from defense to offense on live ball turnovers. They do it so fast, and then they sprint the floor. and they get to those wings, they'll get to the corners, and they'll get down there as quick as possible, and they push up. And again, in transition, especially in the college level, there's so many college teams that in transition are poor decision makers. But Creighton is not a poor decision-making team in transition. And like I said, they transition from defense to offense so freaking fast. And they can really, really bludgeon you by going on these 9-0 runs, these 13-2 runs, these 15-4 runs because of how they transition out, whether they're transitioning a three, whether they're getting an AM1. There's just so many things they can do. And then they naturally, which is why if you follow me a lot, you hear me talk a lot about secondary transition. They will push fast, make the right decision, and get into a secondary transition where you're still getting back, you're still rotating, you're still trying to get your feet hunkered down, and they're already in the stagger actions. They're already ball reversing. They're already doing all these things, and now they're attacking a rotating defense or a defense that's still transitioning back to defense, and again, now they're attacking it to the front of the rim, or they're getting an open three-pointer. So certainly you want to stay out of live ball turnovers. And for Georgetown on their side, as much as you want to control pace, and you certainly want to control pace against a team like this, Georgetown has to get their own easy baskets, which means they're going to have to be a very good rebounding team. They're going to have to be very good defensively, especially when you consider that Creighton makes you guard from sideline to sideline. So there are going to be gaps in lanes, and you got to stay in front of your guy, and you got to rebound. You got to do all of these things. And by the way, Georgetown, and this is where I would like to see Georgetown improve. Georgetown does not necessarily transition from defense to offense all of that fast. And watch it. Go back and watch some of Creighton's games leading up to the game, and then watch some of Georgetown's games leading up to the game. They just don't transition from defense to offense as fast. So Georgetown still need to get easy baskets, whether it's in transition, whether it's through one of their natural actions, whether it's through weak side rebounding. One of those things have to happen for them to get to be able to get enough easy baskets to stay in this game and get this game into the final media timeout. And that's Georgetown. That is such a key to them. I don't care what they have to do those first 36 minutes. That under 4, when you get to the under 4, there has to be some sort of question if Creighton can win the game. And if Georgetown can do that and stay close in a way where it's not an out-of-body experience, you're staying close because you are forcing Creighton into things that they're not comfortable with. Georgetown will have a chance at the end, and I think with this team, that's what you want to see. I think that is the next step against a team like Creighton. Thank you for joining us for the Georgetown pregame, previewing the Creighton game. This is Marcus Washington, MCC Media.